do it with intensity or not at all.
Welcome to the Intensity Podcast. I'm your host, Hans the Hammer Hartleben. How you guys doing? Happy Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on the day you're listening to this. But I appreciate it, no matter what day. You don't have to be an avid Tuesday morning, because this podcast usually comes out at 5 a.m. I missed one a couple weeks ago. I could give you a whole list of excuses you're not interested in, but I'll save you that. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you out in Singapore, Germany, Mexico, Ireland, Egypt. Remember I mentioned Egypt? Australia, Chile, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. That's where we at. So how you like me now? Thanks, Intensity Nation. I'm starting things off with a fun fact. Remember when I used to do segments and I got to use the little podcaster? What'd you think of that? I don't know. I go back and forth with this stuff. This is my podcast. So I got this cute podcaster and I love this stuff. And I was getting more into the entertainment aspect of it more than like the messages. More comedy. I know I could do it all. I'm a one-man show. Just get me a podcaster. What'd you guys think? Let me know. Do you like straight to the point, the straight-up intensity, or do you like a little bit of the segments? Either way, I got one for you. This is interesting to me. Jeepers Cripes. I love this stuff. So I meant to talk about this way earlier, but it was around Father's Day. In Miami Zoo, Galapagos tortoise turned 135 years old, 517 pounds. That's pretty amazing to be 135 years old, but what's even more amazing is he had his first child 2 weeks prior to Father's Day. So he celebrated his first Father's Day. Out of those 135 years, he's been trying for 135 years. He is living proof that where there's a will, there is a way. Never give up. Good for you. His name's Goliath. Galapagos tortoise at the Miami Zoo. So freaking awesome. I love it. I'm telling you, I love it. This weekend, I got a little bit out of my comfort zone. You know, I really hate endurance sports. I do. I never liked them. And I was a fast kid. I was the fastest guy on our team for a while. Senior year, 4.8, 40. That's in grass. High grass. Now they're running on tracks and all this kind of fancy schmancy stuff. I always hated running long distances. We would actually hide when we had jogging section for gym. We would run around, and when the gym teacher couldn't see us anymore, we would lay down. There was a little hill, just perfect, and we would army crawl. And she'd be looking to bust you, though. And I think we got it a couple times, but we were successful many times. And we got to rest. And running has always sucked. I ran a 5K when I was a kid. And being a competitive natured person that I am, I mean, I just started sprinting. I didn't know how long. It was 3 miles. I don't know. Who cares? Run it. Run! Win! So I was in first place for a while. Probably 100 yards. And everybody started passing me, shaking their heads, talking about me as a kid. I'll never forget that. Remember, we talked about you never forget how someone made you feel. I don't know what they were saying, but I know how they made me feel. Stupid ass kid. That was tough. I hated it then. I hate it now. But I did a adventure triathlon. Okay, so like a miniature triathlon. Nothing crazy for all you freaks out there that, okay, this was just cute. But it was awful. It was an hour and a half of pain. And 85 to 90% maximal heart rate. That's huffing and puffing. And using the legs, so it's a 2 mile run in the woods. A lot harder than a track or pavement. Jump on the bike for 7 miles. Starts with a huge ass hill. Then they said, oh, it's all downhill from there, but it wasn't. Of course not. My quads were just burning. I mean, I felt like stopping. And I didn't. I pushed. I have never, ever in my life ridden a bike so hard. And guys, I haven't ridden a bike in 10 years, more than 10 years. It was just like riding a bike, though. There it is. I got to get back into it. What do you think? More of the podcast or more of the entertainment side of things? Let me know, okay? Don't just sit there. But anyways, I haven't ridden a bike. I had to get my tires pumped up. Then I had to take it in and have them actually new tubes put in. Grease it all up. Let's go. Took it off the shelf. Blow the dust off of it. But I have never ridden a bike that hard. 7 miles. And then a 2 mile kayak paddle. Never stopped. Yeah. Just paddle. Lake Iola, wind, wet, lily pads coming up off the paddles right onto your head. It's great. It was awesome. That was awesome. But that was harder than I thought. Going full bore. Happy I did it. Felt great afterwards. The level of blood you're pushing at 85 to 90% maximal heart rate for that long. Pushing blood, metabolizing cholesterol. That's the deal. Anyways, we're going to talk a little bit tonight, or this morning, or tonight, or this afternoon, about depression, seasonal depression. I struggle with it. What about you? So we're not even halfway into September. The weather has really drastically changed here in Wisconsin. 40 degrees, down, I think it was high 30s even one night. That's close to freezing already. September. Lights changing, dark earlier. That's a tough one for me. And it's going to be like this for months. And we're going to get snow and it's going to be cold. And you got to bundle up. And this is where a lot of people struggle. So I want to talk about how do you stay on your game? And why do you just need to stay afloat? Let's accelerate in these rough months. Let's work our asses off. Let's put extra effort into it. Could be learning, reading more books at night. One thing is for certain, we got to stay off of social media or limit that. That's going to go up with a lot of you guys in the dark months, let's call them. That's going to go up. You can't have that. Do your thing and get out. But the more I look into this, you got to have routines. Otherwise, it'll get carried away, okay? We got to acknowledge that there's a seasonal shift, shorter days, colder weather, but we got to have routines. So how are you going to stay sharp when everything slows down? That's the question. Less daylight, your energy dips, even creates mood swings. I get a little choppy. You skip your workouts, you start eating comfort foods, let's call them. Junk food. Call it what it is. You lose all your momentum, and you get into what I call a rut. Ruts I've talked about them a little bit here. Ruts are interesting because sometimes you don't know you're in a rut till you're deep into a rut. Then you wonder, how long was I in this fucking rut? But the key is identifying that. Finding the rut buster, something that works for you. And you know I'm a proponent of exercise. So between your career, adding more fuel, becoming better, make more money, climb the ladder, your exercise, increase your exercise, and your knowledge with reading. Going into the spring like a stallion. Why not? Just don't plop yourself down in front of the TV this time. This is where it starts in the fall. It's technically still summer. That's the crazy thing. The awareness is the first defense. So right now, back to school. Let's have this back to school mindset. We are back to school. Mindset matters. Where are you at? Where are you at with this whole thing? Let's go into it hard. Like I said, let's accelerate into the fall and be rocking all through the winter. I bought, because the sunlight is a big one for me, okay? I bought, it's called a daylight. I had something on that. $160. It's a lamp. It's not UV rays or anything. It's just light. Okay, here's what light does for you. By the way, there's 3,500 4-point stars rated on Amazon. It's a good product, the way it seems. I've been using it. Office at home. I'm probably going to buy another one here for my office, my big office. It helps align your circadian rhythm. What is that? That's your biological clock inside. It uses light to help your sleep patterns, your awake and sleep patterns. That's a big thing, circadian rhythm of your flow of your day. Sleeping when necessary, getting nice deep sleep. And REM sleep, rapid eye movements, that's not your deepest sleep. Your phase 4 sleep. When you're out cold, you don't remember anything, you didn't dream nothing. That's your deepest sleep. That's the best sleep. People get always saying REM sleep. It's not. This daylight lamp also improves consistent sleep patterns. Well, with the circadian rhythm, they kind of doubled up on that value there. Increase alertness. You don't want to be drowsy. I mean, the winter months, everybody's sluggish. We want to be alert, popping. It's all mindset. Guys, there were people suffering in concentration camps in World War II. And the survivors are the ones who kept the mindset. If you gave up, you were dead. There's nothing left to these guys. So it was the mindset what kept people hanging on. It's the most powerful tool we have. We got to use it. It also balances levels of serotonin in the brain. The happy feels. That's a big one. I mean, for me, that's the big one. This is so real that we have 2 puppies, Vinny and Vito. And Vinny is older. He's a 7-year-old boy. He's my best boy. He absolutely loves the spring and summer. And he has his own bassinet. I know, it's crazy. But he lifts his head out of that bassinet, and even if the shades are closed, he knows what kind of day it is. If the sun's out, he's up. He wants to go outside and sit on the patio furniture and face the sun. It's like 60 degrees for him, and sun is perfect. That's where he really wants to be. But he soaks it up, and he's happy. Rainy days, he don't even get out of bed. This is a Yorkshire Terrier, a 7-pound Yorkshire Terrier that's affected that much by the weather and the sun. So this is real. This isn't someone being dramatic. These are real things. So in a sense, I bought the daylight lamp for him also. And I brought some furniture, some patio furniture into the office, trying to mimic that whole thing. We'll see. We've tried it out. We've used it a few times, like I said. And just positive effects on energy and energy level and mood. No duh. Check it out. It's called the Daylight Lamp. $160 on Amazon. It's bright. There's 2 settings. So, where are we at in this whole rut buster thing? We're supposed to create non-negotiable habits. We're supposed to really, really use discipline. And I would have to agree. You need discipline over motivation. Because motivation always isn't going to be there. We're not always going to feel motivated. Someone's not always going to be there to push us. Unless you're a client at Fire Fitness Camp, however, and we have lights out, marvelous motivation pumping 24/7. But when the motivation dies off and you're struggling, you still have the discipline. So you're still getting through the door, so to speak, wherever that door may be. 30-minute workouts, not versus negotiating with yourself, because you're going to lose that negotiation. You got the guy over here saying, you're good. You worked out all summer. You ate well. You don't need to go tonight. Go twice tomorrow. Work out twice tomorrow. That's what he says, and he says it a lot. This guy says, who are you fooling? Stop bullshitting. Your lazy ass, get your lazy ass up and go. You got to listen to that guy. But that's the negotiation that you shouldn't even be taking part of. You should just go. Wherever go is, go in your basement and do burpees. Remember what happened to you guys? You're supposed to do 15 burpees a day. Where is it? How many guys still doing it? Shoot me a message. 15 burpees a day. The most simple thing you can do. And do them as fast as you possibly can. Don't sacrifice form. But there are motivational strategies for fall and winter. Create and gamify your tracking. So, like, what they mean by that is, like, we have my zone heart rate monitor system, okay? It tracks your MEP, my effort point. Set goals for your MEPs. How hard you're going to work. How much effort you're going to put in for the month. Goal is 2,500 MEPs. Now you have something. You're gamifying your goals. Tracking. MyFitnessPal, another great one because we know how important diet is. If we're not tracking this stuff, guys, we're shooting darts in the dark. That doesn't work very well. They're all over the place. Tracking is key. You got to have a scoreboard. I'm going to use, the ping pong analogy. You ready? Think about this. You're at a party with a ping pong table. You're drinking beer and you're volleying. Not trying real hard. Guys trying to spike it all the time. Balls going off the table all the time. Every 2 hits. You're just screwing around. You get bored. How fast do you get bored of that? Volleying around. Now you start keeping score. What happens? Start getting into a little stance. Right? Knees are flexed a little bit. You're bouncing around. Start trying harder. And you're playing for an hour because you're keeping score. It's crucial, guys. Everything we do this fall and winter, let's keep score. If you're lifting weights in your basement, track it. What weight we're using, how many reps, how many sets. You might not go back and look every week. That's okay. Track it because you might. How are you going to track getting stronger? One goal for me that I have is I'm going to put on a little muscle this fall and winter. I'm going to stack it up a little bit. How am I going to do that? It's going to take nutrition. It's going to take a lot more protein intake than what I'm doing right now. How do I know how much protein in grams I'm getting? I'm going to have to track it. Otherwise, I'm what? Shooting darts in the dark. And at the end of the day, you can lift weights as hard as you want until you're blue in the face. It's not going to matter. Yeah, you're still going to get health benefits out of it. But if you really want the results, you got to put it all together. Another thing that helps is find an accountability partner, somebody that wants to do this with you. Make it fun. Make it competitive. It's okay. But we got to switch some stuff up this fall and winter. We don't want it to be like last time. We're not sitting around watching TV and the movies suck. So what are you watching? Be a participant this fall and winter. Change your environment. Use the light therapy. Buy the light. $160. You spent $160 a lot more foolishly. Trust me. Use a sauna. Go get a membership. Use a sauna. Buy a sauna. The infrared light is spectacular for elasticity in the skin. Collagen building. Helps for fat loss. A lot of benefits to infrared light. Look it up. They're not that expensive. But it's that thing is how you relate in your priorities. It's all relative. $3,000 for a sauna to somebody is ridiculously expensive. They would never invest $3,000 in a sauna in their life. Another person, like, for $3,000? Absolutely. Your basement, put that on there, use it 3 times a week. It's all that pecking order you have. We have those lists of priorities. Health is usually way down there for most of us. Let's move it up. Move it to the top. We're going to be happier people. Cut the distractions. Block that social media. We talked about that. Cut back. Most of us are going to increase in the winter. The more dark hours there are, stop it. Start reading. Even if it's online, it's an Audible. Best thing in the world is putting my headphones on with an Audible in the sauna. There you go. Boom! That's like a joke one. What am I doing here? What else we got here? Yeah. Where's that been? All right. We got to get back into it. Getting back into it. We're back to school. We're even switching up the podcast. Do something to please yourself. As long as it's not hurting other people. Now, I'm not talking about being selfish all the time. I'm just talking about do something for yourself, for your side hustle. Doesn't have to be a side hustle. Just something for yourself. Push the needle forward on you. No more procrastination. Get it done now. Don't even think about it, because when you start negotiating with yourself, these guys, one here and one here, a lot of times Mr. Procrastinator wins. And you feel like shit. You don't need to do that to yourself. Fall and winter should not be for survival. They should be for building. Building you as a human being. All around. Learn something this fall and winter. Learn a new language. Pick up Spanish. It's the most useful second language. Another one I got to get back into is the cold showers. I don't take the cold shower from the get-go. You can. That's the best. Chris Daniels, he was a guest on here. That's what he's been doing for years. That's tough. I don't care what anyone says. And it's not harder when you're going from hot to ice cold. It's just the hardest thing is just going into cold water. But meet me halfway here. Last 30 seconds of your shower, turn it to ice cold. You get out of that shower so revived. It feels awesome, and I'm getting back into it all the way. I did it for about 2 years straight. I don't know what happened. I got rushed. I didn't get rushed, and that's just a little excuse. It's cranked up, turn it down. Even if you forget, you get out, get back in and turn on the cold water. Here's another one. This is what I'm doing. So I'm doing this podcast at 8:30 at night. I'm putting in extra hours. But say you only put in 1 extra hour, whatever it is you do. I'm going to use me for an example because I'm self-employed, okay? So for the next 28 weeks, that's September, October, November, December, January, February, and through March. If I just work 1 extra hour, I'm going to do more now. I'm going to do 2 or 3. But 1 extra hour, Monday through Friday, I will have 280 hours under my belt that I put in extra. If you divide that up, I can take off instead of at 6 o'clock at night in the summer, I could take off at 3 o'clock for 3 months, 90 days. Are you following me? All those hours that I accumulated, and I accumulated 280 hours. If I just do 1 hour a day, 280 hours, you can leave 3 hours early for 3 months. Can you imagine the summer? Off at 3 o'clock every day? That's what it is. If you can discipline yourself well enough. Still got to work. Still got to put in the time and grind. But really go forward this fall and winter and establish yourself and accelerate into these seasons. What do you think, guys? Time for our plug. Rehab Supplements Lab, unlocking human potential. Trademark, by the way. Specializing in cutting edge and sophisticated health products. RehabSups.com. Live long, live strong. RehabSups.com. Creatine gummies. By far the best electrolyte product in the world. Clear protein. Fantastic. Our Recover product is, I couldn't do what I do without the Recover. Shooting you straight. And we have the perfect pre-workout. The perfect pre-workout. Low stimulant, 150 milligrams of caffeine. Natural caffeine from green tea. It's beautiful. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you got something out of the podcast, please like it and share it. Make a little ruckus. Share it with your friends. Let's get this going. Intensity Nation. You hear me, Singapore? Out.